Welcome to Real Talk, Real People, Real Results. Today I am super excited because we're going to be talking to Lisa Bergman. She is a challenger turned coach. Not only that, she actually is a $25,000 Beachbody challenge winner. Beachbody has a contest for all their people that are in the challenge groups and so forth. And every year they have up to $100,000 that they give away. She actually won $25,000. So today we're going to be talking to Lisa. She's going to be explaining her journey. She's going to be explaining what it's all about, how she got started, where she's going, and what it's done for her life. So we're just kind of going to wait for her to jump on here, and then I'm going to invite her.
Just waiting for her to select yes.
And there she
Got
is. We made it. Yes, we made it. Lisa, how are you doing?
I'm good. Hold on one second here. I'm good.
Thank you for jumping on today. We had a little bit of a rough start, but that's okay. It's a brand new feature that we're all getting used to. But I am super excited to have you on this call, Lisa. We've known each other for a little bit through Team Dynasty and so forth. And I've always been inspired by what you were able to accomplish and so forth. And now I want you to share it with everybody else that's kind of going to be watching. Like, we already have 5 people right now. So everybody's kind of excited to hear your story and where you started from and where you went and what's happened with you. But, you know, a couple things that we got to do first, because Beachbody just likes this stuff to be done. So we're going to do the little Beachbody disclaimer. So guys, whenever we are talking about income or anything that we have received from Beachbody, Beachbody does not guarantee any success or income from Beachbody coach opportunity. Each coach's income depends on his or her own efforts, diligence, and skill. And if you guys want to see the statement of independent coach earnings and so forth, you can check that out on the online office. But we just want to be very clear that, you know, you get what you put into it. We do not guarantee anything, but we've all done really well with what we have done. And results may vary. You know what? Lisa had an amazing transformation. I've had an amazing transformation. Many of our challengers and so forth have had amazing transformations. But we've all made
I'm not hearing you.
You're not hearing me. Okay. Do you guys
Now I am.
Okay. All right. Let's try this again. Okay. So tell us about your life before you started the program. How did you feel about yourself and your body before you even started with Beachbody?
Okay, so before I started with Beachbody, I had some tough times. I went through a few tough times. My mother had passed away. I'm a psych and detox nurse, so I actually got hurt working in the hospital and had to have ACL surgery. My home then got destroyed by Hurricane Wilma. So it was a bit of a rough patch, and at the same time I was trying to finish up my associate's degree in college. So I was needless to say, not feeling so good about myself at that point. I found myself where my weight was just increasing and my energy and my confidence was totally in the toilet. It was just totally decreasing. I was miserable. I would go in my closet and none of my clothes fit me. I would literally cry. Like, I did not want to leave the house. I would sit around in sweatpants and, you know, I'd just look in there at my blue jean collection and nothing fit. It was a time in my life that I never really thought that I was going to get to. Previously years, when I was younger, I had had some hard times, but I had overcome them. So to be back in tough times again like this, and then feeling so bad about myself, just like not being able to get out of the bed, I was just so miserable. It was bad, you know, and I was heavy. You know, I had gotten pretty big for me because I had never been big my whole life. So it was a time in my life that I literally put on a lot of weight, and it affected my mind. It affected every area of my life, you know, going through all those things. And then that on top of it was just, I was at my breaking point. it was at that point that one day I was just sitting in my home. My dog was dying at the time on top of everything else. And I was just sitting in my home, and I realized like I needed to do something. I didn't know what, but I knew whatever it was, I needed to start with myself. You know, I needed to feel better to go anywhere, to go forward, to do anything. I needed to do something with me first, because I literally just didn't want to get out of bed or leave the house. So I had this box, this P90X box in my cabinet, like probably so many other people have, that from years before that I had purchased and never done. You know, and I said, well, you know, I'm going to do P90X. I have it. I can do this. And it wasn't as easy as I thought. You know, I remember, you know, I was so uncomfortable in my own skin, and for me, it was a big deal because I had not ever felt that way before. So I was willing to do what it took, but not realizing when I started P90X how hard it was going to be. And I was only able to do like 3 to 5 minutes of it at first, like huffing and puffing and laid out on the floor, just like, you know. So that's actually where I started, and that's how and why I started. Little by slowly, you know, I did 3 minutes, 5 minutes, then I think 10 minutes, and one day I got to 20 minutes. You know, it was hard. It was really hard. You know, but I kept telling myself, you know, I needed to do that. And my goal, you know, as crazy as it might seem, I wasn't even thinking about like gaining energy. My thoughts were I just wanted to fit into my blue jeans. And that, you know, may sound, I don't know, weird, you know, but I really wasn't thinking of my health, you know, like gaining energy. At the point I just wanted to lose weight. I wanted to be thin again. I wanted to fit into my clothes. I wanted to be able to just go in my closet, throw on a pair of blue jeans and walk out of the house and feel good. You know, when I started doing P90X, I realized how bad it was, because the hardest part was like just putting that. At the time they didn't have the streaming videos, so you had to put the DVD in and push the button, and that was literally the hardest part, doing that, getting up to do that to begin with. But once, you know, I started, it was a big slap to the ego, you know, only doing 3 and 5 minutes, you know, and literally being laid out on the ground like I couldn't do anymore. It was tough, you know, and that's where it began for me.
So what would you say was your biggest challenge when you first started the program? And how did the program and Beachbody help you overcome that challenge?
I think my biggest challenge was my energy at the time. I was dealing with adrenal fatigue, and no cortisol, not just low cortisol. I didn't have any cortisol, along with some other issues, but those were the big ones for me. And I literally had a hard time getting out of bed. At that time, I would sleep a lot from no energy, but also from depression. I was so depressed from everything else. And for me, that was the challenge of just getting up and doing it. Getting up there, you know, making the effort. You know, I had every reason in the world to not do it. You know, we come up with a gazillion reasons, whether they're, you know, valid or not. They're easy to come up with, you know, why we can't do it today or why we'll do it later. And that was me. And what I found for myself is that I needed to do it first thing in the morning. And it's still that way today. If I don't do it first thing, it doesn't get done. You know, life shows up, you know, I get tired or whatever it is, and it just doesn't get done. So that's still the same for me today, is if I don't do it first thing. But the challenge was, you know, just getting it done little by slowly, and knowing that, you know, every day I would get better, you know. And once I started to see, like, I went from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. I went from 10 minutes eventually to 20, and eventually completed the whole workout, you know. And to me, that was like winning a race, you know. but it was tough. I won't say it was easy. It wasn't easy at all. It was just something I needed to do for me, knowing that, in order to get where I wanted to go, I needed to start there.
You know what? This is the third interview I've done this week, and I'm kind of getting chills. First of all, you're a huge inspiration to probably a ton of women out there, and probably not just women, but guys too, because even with the conversations I'm having with customers now and people that are reaching out to me, they're all saying the same thing. You know what, Shawn? I just want to feel comfortable leaving my house. I just don't feel like, it's almost like they feel like they don't deserve to leave the house because of the way they're feeling. And you know what you're showing here is everybody has the same kind of struggle in the beginning. So really you are an inspiration because you're showing people that you can get beyond that. But with this being the third interview, you guys have all had the same kind of struggle in the beginning. The struggle is just getting started.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
For years, I did the same thing. And actually, I'm talking to someone right now that whenever you see somebody losing weight, you're thinking, well, how do I get that pill? How do I get that magic pill that's going to help me drop this weight? And what people don't really understand, and what these interviews are really doing, is there is no magic pill. There's no magic shake. There's no nothing. At the end of the day, you got to get off the couch and you got to start moving. And in your case, and you know what, in my case too, because with my journey, I couldn't get past the 5 minutes of yoga in the beginning of Power 90, and that's how I started. Because like you, my P90 sat out of my closet for 2 years, right? So we've all P90X struggled. But you know what? How has your life changed since the beginning of Beachbody program?
Oh, wow. Well, literally it changed twice, and there were two programs that literally changed my life. And the first one was P90X, and that gave me my confidence back. I became strong, not just physically, but mentally. I not only lost the weight, but I had definition, but most of all, I felt confident. I felt like I was brought to life again, I think that's what I would say, is I was brought to life again with P90X. It gave me the confidence to just basically know I could do whatever I wanted, And then the second part, back when the 21-day fix came out later down the road, that taught me nutrition, and that taught me, that gave me the solid foundation, not just so much with, moving my body, but the nutrition aspect of it, which I really didn't know, and a lot of people like myself think, you eat protein and you eat chicken and vegetables and eggs, and that's good, and that's not good. And that's what I thought for so many years. And the 21-day fix is what taught me, not so much, the container system. So it wasn't really the 21-day fix itself, but the container system taught me that I wasn't eating enough fruit daily. Although I was eating vegetables, I wasn't eating enough on a daily basis. And it just taught me a whole new way and an easier way, I think that was, I don't even remember what the question was. What was the question?
How has it changed your life? But no, you're being truthful, because when the portion control system was set into place, like, yes, Tony Horton came out with his P90X meal plan, and it wasn't an easy meal plan to follow. Like, there was different phases in that program. There was the bulk, and there was and it wasn't easy to follow. And you're right. Our viewers that are watching right now, all our programs actually come with a meal plan, and they all follow this system. So there's no a little about so after you finished your program, came
What?
someone won a little bit of money from Beachbody. So we have the Beachbody Challenge, and we talk about it all the time, but not many people actually see people winning it, and you actually took home some money. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how that all happened? How did you get involved with that? And really show our viewers that it is possible. Let them know your journey and how that you got to that point.
Okay. Well, that part of the story is kind of funny, when I look back at it, because literally one night, it was the middle of the night, and it was about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was wide awake, and I didn't honestly know what to do with myself. I think it was raining outside or something where I didn't go outside. And I said, oh, you know what? Let me go fill out for a t-shirt. I completed the program. Now let me go on the computer. I never went for my t-shirt. When you complete the program, you get the t-shirt. So I went on the computer and I actually filled out the questions. There's a few questions, and I breezed right through them. I just quickly answered them because I just wanted the t-shirt. I really didn't want to pay much mind to what all these questions they were asking. Now I look back and I laugh about it, but the whole thing looking back is very funny how it happened. So that's what happened with that. And at the time, I think it was in February of that year, my coach had said, did you get the email or something? And I had deleted the email. The original email, because I won $1,000 first, and I deleted that email. Go fast forward to the $25,000. I did the same thing. I deleted the email, but I was driving in the car to the park one day, and my phone rang, and I saw that it was Beachbody, and it just struck me odd because I know Beachbody. Why would they be calling me? And I answered the phone, and the guy at the other end of the phone said, is this you and whatever? And I said, yeah. And he said, will you be going to Summit this year? And I said, well, I don't know. I actually am considering not going for the first time. And he said, that may be a problem. And I said, why? And he told me that I was a finalist in the Beachbody Challenge. And I kind of was in shock because I wasn't quite sure, like he knew he was speaking to me. I had never won a large amount of money for my body when I was younger, and now I was in my 50s, and I was winning money for my body. So, I had honestly said to him, like, do you realize I think I was 51 at the time or something. Do you realize I'm 51 years old? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And he said, yeah. So, it was an interesting story. It was very exciting. They flew us out to Las Vegas and paid for our trip and did the photo shoots and the interviews and the whole thing, the whole celebration, walking on stage, being on stage with all the excitement and all the trainers, and it was just a really exciting time. Not to mention the money was great, but to me, I think the whole experience itself, and the whole way it came about is just, it's definitely something to look back on and, be really grateful for, because when I started this, it wasn't about money at all. It still isn't about money, but that's a great bonus, It was a very exciting.
You just wanted the t-shirt. That's all you wanted was
I just wanted the t-shirt. That was it.
Right?
I tell all my clients now, I tell them, don't not fill out for that t-shirt. You need to fill that out. It's very important. I tell a lot of most of my clients, make sure you take that before picture, because I had a struggle looking for before pictures. They didn't have very many of them, hence the crazy bathing suit before picture there you have there. But I didn't have any. Now I laugh because it's the $25,000 picture, but it was like a horrendous thing to be showing to somebody. It was like, oh my God, you know. But yeah, it was a great experience.
So for the people that are listening, and if you've started a program or you're thinking about starting a program, when your coach or me or whoever it is tells you to sign up because you completed a program, make sure you guys go do that, because you never know what you're going to walk away with. That's an incredible story, because I didn't actually hear that full story before. So I'm glad you got to share that with us. So how did your Beachbody coach actually support you in your journey?
Yeah, well, my coach is wonderful. He's just so supportive. Even, you know, for other things outside of like weight loss, he's just always been there. He's so motivating, inspiring, and he's just there, you know. And I know that, you know, he's not holding my hand, but I know if I need something, he's there. He's there if I need something. He's there to cheer me on. He's there to answer questions. You know, I know it's my job to reach out to him, and I do that when I need to, and he's always there, you know, and I think accountability is a big part, you know, and not just my coach, like other people. I think that, you know, as in anything else, accountability, you know, it's very easy to do something by yourself, or for me it is. It's very easy to do something and then just slack off because nobody's going to know. And then one day turns into two, and two turns into three, and then a week and 2 weeks, and then you're just, you know, then it's hard to get back to it again. So I really think just not just the coach, because the coach is key, but also the whole community is a big key, because they're there to encourage you. They know when you're not there. They, you know, where are you? Are you okay? Is there something I can do? If you have a question, there's a whole community to speak to. I think it's great. I just think my coach was the beginning to introducing me to everything, you know, and he's still there, and he's always there. I think coach is wonderful to have.
Fantastic. So were you actually part of a challenge group when you were doing your journey, or did you do it on your own, or?
They didn't have, we didn't know what challenge groups were originally, but I had people that I was accountable to, that would check on me and that I checked in with, and I basically posted my stuff on social media, on Facebook, to stay accountable, and spoke with the community that I'm in. However, I was not in a challenge group, and even today, you know, I run challenge groups, but I don't so much always participate because I do things on my own. I've always been that way. I'm like a loner. I can interact. I'm an introvert that likes people, if that makes, I forget what they call it, the real name for that, but like I need my time with me, and then I can go with people for a limited amount of time. But I do a lot of things by myself, and then knowing there's a community there for me, you know. So no, I did not start in a challenge group.
Perfect. Well, you know what? A lot of people don't really understand the community that is behind Beachbody, because they think, oh, you're just, you know, and I've said this before, people think that we're just out to sell a product and that's it. But what we're really doing is we're providing support, accountability. We really have a huge community behind us as well. Like, just like you, we have friends all over the US, all over Canada now, within the Beachbody community that we have, and it's fantastic. Like I was telling one of our other coaches yesterday, at a drop of a dime, if I made a phone call, I know I could be in Hawaii tomorrow, right? Hanging out with one of our fellow coaches, right? And to me, it's a beautiful thing. I have more friends in Beachbody than I do like surrounding me, because that's how close we are, right? It is more than just a workout program, a meal plan. It's about family, support, love. You know what? We're there for each other when it struggles. There to pick people up. We're here to chat with people, really cheer people on. And you know what? With your journey and what you've done, you've touched so many lives already. And what we're trying to do as coaches is just continue that.
Yeah, I do the Shakeology, and it's actually, when I first started, before I started Shakeology, I had IBS, and I had it pretty bad, and I was not regular at all. I know people don't like to talk about that, but I wasn't at all. And when I started Shakeology, I believe it was like, I don't know, it had to be 2-3 weeks or maybe a month at most. My IBS was completely gone, like done. Years later, I've never had to deal with it again since starting Shakeology. My cholesterol went down 30 points, and yeah, and my energy levels are like, just so much better. I don't know if it, just from the Shakeology, but I know that it's helped. I was gonna say something and I forgot what now. That's what happens when you get older.
People, I love
Huh?
real talk. Okay, that's what the interviews are for.
I was gonna say something about it and I don't remember what. I totally
The
don't.
only interview you can hear about talking about poop. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That's it. So see, people don't talk about it. So, but the truth is, since drinking Shakeology, and I don't know how long I was taking it, on it. I can't honestly tell you like I can the IBS, but I can tell you I've been regular for years now that I drink Shakeology. And I wasn't for years. So, I know it's something that people don't talk about, but it's a big issue for a lot of people. And I want to talk about that because it does help with that. And that alone right there is incredible, for me at least. Imagine not being able to go, it's not comfortable. So, so yeah, so it's helped with that too.
So she should be on in about 10 seconds. And there she is back. Guys, once again, thank you for jumping back on. We are going to do this, so we're not ending the conversation because I went back and listened to the video, and we really did finish off with poop. So we don't want to do that. One thing I want to say before we go into the final questions is, number one, guys, age is just a number. Age is just a number. It doesn't matter if you're 20, it doesn't matter if you're 30 or 40. Or in your 40s or in your 50s. Age is just a number. If you guys want to make a change, you can. So, you want to end this. What is one thing you would say to the people that are following?
I think I'd like to say that change is hard. I know, I've done it. Nobody likes change, and you can do it too. Little by slowly, one step at a time, one day at a time. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. You know what? And you're worth it. That's what I'd like to end with.
It's as simple as that, guys. You know what? At the end of the day, you are worth it. You got to believe in yourselves. And let me tell you something. If you don't believe in yourselves right now, let us believe in you, and you guys ride that wave, because we're going to push you forward. We're going to help you succeed. We're going to help you hit your goals. You know what? You might get a t-shirt, but you could win $25,000. And at the end of the day, if anything else matters, what we learned from this call is you're going to be able to poop. You're going to be able to poop regularly.
You'll get your life back.
That's right. You're going to get your life back. You're going to get it. You're going to be comfortable in your own skin. You're going to feel happy and joy, all from a little bit of changes that you guys have made. So, Lisa, thank you so much for jumping on the call.
Thanks, Shawn.